one that really comes to my mind at this point is we have a client who's 58 years old, and he is, for all purposes, fully disabled from a mental capacity aspect in full-time assisted living. I sat across the table from his daughter, grown daughter, and all this was happening, and she was going to have to step in and take legal capacity over her father. And she goes, I have no idea what to do at this point. So, and I have no idea what to do at this point. So really what it became was, okay, start at ground level, start internal with everybody else that we have in the office. And this is, I'm young, this is new in my career, this is just when I'm starting to take clients on as my own. So now you fast forward, a couple of years, and he's settled in an assisted living home. The daughter has a great relationship with us, and it was basically all this coming together of us not just saying, okay, where is it that we can come alongside you to help you above and beyond where you're probably going to get services anywhere else. And most people might say, that wasn't necessarily your job. You could have just said, you need to contact an attorney, you need to do this, and she probably needs to look in this direction. And you could leave it at that. That goes back to the question of really what we talked about. Number one is, why you think you feel you're put in a position to do what you do, and what makes it so much easier to come to work. That's why is really knowing that I'm going to be able to delve in, and I'm not going to be limited by my scope of the business saying this isn't a profitable relationship. We say go and do what it is you need to do to take care of your clients.
Well, one that comes to mind, I think for privacy issues, we'll call my client Donald. And Donald, I've worked with him for several years, but I initially started working with his parents probably 25 years ago when I worked at Citizens Bank. And they were my clients. I managed their money for them. And they have one son, Donald, who is mentally disabled. So they set up an irrevocable trust for him. So when they were gone, they wanted him to be taken care of. And they did pass away. The trust was set up, and I took care of him at Citizens Bank. And he followed me over to TriStar, which he doesn't get any Christmas gifts, except for the one that comes from TriStar. And it's very moving when he, tells me that every year. And I always tell him, just hold off on it and open it Christmas morning so you have something to open. He's very appreciative, and it just makes me feel good. And it's something TriStar should be proud of too. Just the fact that we can do that for people, and through this whole relationship, he has a lot of people who look out for him as well. And we've gotten some of their business too, because they see what we do for him. They see how we go the extra mile.
Several years back, I had an elderly client, and her husband passed away, and she was very estranged from her daughter. So I made frequent trips to go visit her in Tawas for many years, and loved Ruth. And then when she passed away, as trustee of the trust, she had some property that she was going to sell, so I went to the closing to sell these vacant lots, and she had some condos and homes and things of that nature. Not knowing all these years that the people across the street would watch me. Every time I came to visit, they were looking out their window, seeing what I was doing, how I was taking care of Ruth. Last summer, they reached out to me, and they also are an elderly couple in the same area with no children, and they said, we saw how you took care of her, and we don't have anyone to do that for us. And we want to become clients of TriStar. And so you just never know who's watching.
Literally.
Or, just doing the right thing. It really does pay off.
When I think about a relationship that puts a smile on my face every single time, it would have to be one of my clients that was widowed about 5 years ago. Ironically enough, this individual and I had met 5 years prior when I was searching for a home and ended up not buying the home using this lady. Yes, shame on me, okay? There's a longer story with this. But when I think of this individual, I met this individual for the first time outside of that arena at her husband's funeral. And I knew who she was right away, and she knew who I was right away. And we looked at each other, and I knew that she was coming in next week to talk with me because her husband did all of the work. I mean, paid all the bills, did everything. And over the course of the last 5 years, we have built this tremendous relationship where most days she's the first person I get an email from, and it could be just a subtle text message throughout the day, or that lunch that we'll go on. And we have built this relationship where she calls me now her third son, and it's one of those things where I helped a lady at the lowest of low times where we didn't necessarily have a good relationship at that point personally because of our prior dealings outside of TriStar. But we've built such a strong relationship now on being able to take her situation, make the most out of it, and now she is a fully independent, strong-willed lady that I just love to pieces.
Don't limit yourself. Learn everything possible you can learn, and learn the technology that we have. It's probably where I failed a little bit, and all the EV staff will agree with that. But learn the technology, learn the systems inside and out, and you will go miles. Just be a sponge. Learn as much as you possibly can do, and never stop learning every single day. It will prove you good in your life, at home, at work, in the community. Just be a sponge and learn and learn and learn and learn.
Don't underestimate anyone. You may see someone and think, well, they don't need our services, or they don't have money, and you'd be very, very surprised that they could be a millionaire. And so treat everyone with dignity, respect, care.
Well, at home, I actually keep a notepad on my nightstand. So when I wake up in the middle of the night and think of things that, did I finish this, or that I need to do, I'm always making notes. And so that's one thing I help to keep myself organized. And when I meet with clients, it doesn't matter how small the detail, I'll make a note in their file, because you can't remember all those things. I chatted with someone this morning. He was telling me he was going to go on a vacation for 3 weeks to visit his son out in California. So I made a note of it. So next time I talk to him, I'll hurry up, bring up that memo, see what my last conversations were. I can ask him about, hey, how was that trip out to California? So just anything that you can make to help personalize that meeting and help that connection, I think this will go a long way.
I think from a professional standpoint, what has helped me the most is a lesson from Stan. At one point, I don't know what year it was working with him at this point, Stan says to me, Tony, you gotta slow down. I'm too old and I don't have time to understand what you're trying to tell me. And I think that was a moment where I realized that know your audience and have a higher degree of emotional intelligence to know where you're going. And it's okay to pause and ask questions, and it's okay to simplify things so much that maybe you're not capturing the entire message that you wanted to say, but what you did capture is what's important to the client. And I think that's something that he taught me. And then the other thing that I think I learned is don't take everyone's comments so seriously.
You come into TriStar day one, and I don't care where you start, who interviews you, or whatever. There's one thing. Think back to your interview. What was the one thing that probably most people highlighted out of anything here at TriStar? Care. And based on our relationships, right? When you look just at anybody in the organization and you look at the level of care that they put in for an employee, or the level of care they put in for a client, or even just for extended family members, it changes the way that you view a work atmosphere, or at least it has in my mind. It's when you truly see the care in motion and you see how this translates into the client relationships that you built. I mean, it's no wonder that everybody's been successful here.
Oh my gosh, the retirement world. It's just, that was where my passion lies. We were actually out on Friday night, and we were at a bar restaurant up north. And I said to my husband, Bob, and I said, this concerns me. And he goes, what? I said, these bartenders, they're just great people. They work hard every single night, but I'm not sure they have any money for retirement because they don't have access to it. I said, that's where my map comes into play. And he looked at me and goes, you truly are crazy about this retirement world. And he just shook his head because I love it. I just want people to get where they need to be and be able to retire someday.
I think working with clients and meeting their needs and them being satisfied. And today I just talked to a client on the phone, and she thanked me for everything we do for her, and that's just very rewarding. I feel like I'm the lucky one here.
I think that there are several things. One is the hugs that come from the clients. When you finish a meeting and you get that warm hug and they say thank you, it's kind of the drive to make certain that if you're working with a CPA or an attorney, that they acknowledge and commend you with the client in regards to the work that you've done. Because they don't have to. I mean, the clients paid for them, their services, but for that professional advisor to also give back a glowing referral on what you've done sets you apart, from others, and that's a very good feeling.
I think that's just who I am. As I said, I just want everyone to be happy and to be the best that they can, and I think that's just part of who TriStar is, and that's what makes us so special and so different, is those services. You can go and get investments anywhere, but it's the service that I believe keeps our clients here.
Caring for our community. I'm not sure if I know another company out there, and keep in mind I work with all the corporates, that really gives back as much as we do, or is involved in the community as we do, and really have a mission to be successful at it, and not just say that we do it, we actually do it. So I would say caring for our community comes to mind right off the top.
Through my career, I worked for corporate America, I worked for a nonprofit, and I worked in academics, and now here I am at a privately held company. And in all of those experiences, I've never felt more blessed and fortunate to be where I am today for a number of reasons. We truly care about what we do every day. We surround ourselves by good people. We provide a service and a product to our clients that I believe is unparalleled or matched, not only from a sophistication standpoint, but also from here. I think that the people we have hired and that built this company inherently love helping people. And if that's not infectious, I don't know what else is. And I think that having started as an assistant and moving to where I am today, I never imagined the amount of thought that went into each and everything we do for our staff. And I'm just very proud to know that, first of all, that we truly care about each other, our clients, and our community. And for me, having all those other private experiences, this is just one where I found where I was supposed to be at life. And it just took me a crazy journey and path to get here.